What's up? Matt Shiozawa here. Hey, over the weekend, I was able to catch up with committees from Reno, Caldwell, and Gooding. Steve Kenyon helped out. We discussed COVID-19. Here's a video. George, you're kind of the next batter out. COVID-19 affected you, and just tell me what you're going through.
Well, we're it's like sitting on a keg of dynamite right now because we don't know if we can go or we can't go, and we're ready to go and we want to go, but we also got to monitor and we got to make sure the safety of everybody that's part of it, and it's not just the contestants, but our fans and the contract help, and even our committee and our volunteers. It's tough because right now we would be full bore getting ready and committee meetings and volunteer meetings, and we can't have no meetings. And so we're relying on Zoom. We're relying on conference calls and keeping our social distancing and just praying that between now and say, the 1st of May or the middle of May, we see this kind of getting out of here. And if it does, everybody said that from the time this thing shut down that, by the time June gets here, we're going to be all good. We can always hope, but this virus has got some nasty traits to it. So it's affected us very much. And so we're being very cautious and we want to do all the right things for the right reasons, and health and of our people is the top priority.
Yep. George, I get the impression that a lot of people in the rodeo business wake up every day right now and they check on any news from Reno. And another day goes by, they haven't heard from Reno. They figure it's a pretty good day. We're one day closer to you guys being able to happen. But, the importance of your rodeo, and I'm guessing the importance of your rodeo in your city, your business community's got to want you to happen, I would guess, right now.
Well, our sponsorship's ready. They're we've reached out and first off, I don't wake up no more because I don't sleep. Very little sleep at my house at this point. But the phone rings all day long. It's, everybody's wanting to know what we're doing and how we're, and we're basically waiting. We did a press release a week ago, stating just exactly what I just said a minute ago. And we're monitoring the situation on an hourly basis, basically. And we're watching everything and watching these charts and how many people are sick, how many people are dying, where are they at? In the state of Nevada, we're not got a lot of cases, especially in the Reno area. I think we're getting close to 600 at this point. I think we've had 15 deaths in Reno. So yeah, but we're monitoring it very closely but you're right. Everybody thinks that Reno is going to be the kickoff to make it happen. And it is really big for this community if we could be, because I believe this community is ready. Nevada is not a state that's built to stay home, and we got casinos closed. They're completely closed up, and they've been closed since the 1st of the month. So we'll see how long. Rumor is they're all taking reservations May 1st, but I don't know if that.
If there's crowd size ordinances, can you still produce, or this is a question for everybody? If they say 500 max or 1,000 even,
I'll be the first one, I guess, since I'm the first rodeo. The answer to that is probably a big no, because we have more. It would take more people than that to produce it, let alone have any fans in the stands. So I don't think Reno can produce.
But yeah, if it's 1,000 people or less, you're cutting our attendance by from 40-some thousand to 5,000, and probably just isn't in the cards. But I want to say one thing. We are, we're a significant event like everybody is in their community, and we feel obligated to that community to put on the rodeo. And so we're committed to that right now.
Yeah, I mean, for Gooding, I mean, that is the biggest event in this whole valley, let alone the town of Gooding, is everybody comes to Gooding. If they limit us, heck, even at Gooding, we've got probably 75 people just to put on the rodeo. It'd be pretty tough to do. And then how do you justify that to your sponsors? I mean, our sponsors are great. 90% of them would probably say, sure, go ahead. But then, you know, I'm sure we're going to lose some sponsors. We're lucky to have, you know, most of our major sponsors, they've stepped up. You know, one of them is a dairy. They're dumping milk. They still sent the check.
It's an ongoing, you know, just to put the rodeo together, you know, we've discussed to get the ground set up and ready to go. It's an unbelievable deal in Reno, because 2 weeks before the rodeo, you can drive by that rodeo grounds and it looks like it does the other 10 months out of the year. And then within a week's time, you have the carnival move in, you have the pins are set up in the back, and it's a complete transition. All the portable office buildings, all the porta potties, all that stuff. All the vendors, you know, show up on the Sunday before. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday they set up. We have concert on Wednesday, and then the 9 days of rodeo, or the Extreme Bulls, and then 9 days of rodeo. The transition to set it up and make it happen, as long as you have everything in place, it's a very well-oiled machine. I don't even take over the possession of the grounds. I take over the possession of the grounds the Wednesday, the week before the concert. So I have it 1 week prior to the concert, and then we rodeo. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens throughout the rest of the year to get ready and do things, but everything really happens 2 weeks, you know, basically 2 weeks from the rodeo.
Well, and you've got an interesting, yours is even a bigger circus than most, George, because you got to coordinate with the ropings too.
Yeah, I have all the ropings. You know, I've got a 2-day big horse sale going on this year. We've got, you know, we have our Kids Day events that's going on. We have a barrel racing going on. Like I said, we're excited. We had the earliest time to announce our concert this year, to let everybody know, and contracts were signed, everything was ready, and we were ready to announce the day that it shut down. And so we've held, and the radio stations held, and announcing the concert even, because we don't know if we're going to be able to have it. So, but yeah, I have a unique, with having the carnival and having the vendors and the ropings, the social distancing is a big thing for us. It's going to be really hard to have any kind of restrictions to make our rodeo happen.
Nobody sees the coordination or what you guys go through to put on a rodeo unless you've done something yourself. So for me, I want to say thank you. I'm sure there's a lot of contestants. They mean to say thank you.
You know, I know when I get done with your rodeo every year, Saturday night, I usually look to Thursday and Friday night after the performances, Wednesday night too now. You've usually got this big grin on your face because you know we did pretty good. That kind of makes you feel good.
Well, you know, there's nothing better than being in that arena and have the crowd going. You can feel it. Yeah. And that's the best feeling in the world.
Guys, are you hearing enough? Forgive me, Matt. Are you guys hearing enough from your local, state, county health people? I guess they don't really know what's going on either. I mean, nobody can give anybody any answers right now. Is that a fair way to put it?
Exactly. Nobody has an answer. Yeah. Are we going to be able to get our funny man and our part of the stock out of Canada?
Yeah, I'm thinking we need 6 weeks if we have to put a bow on it.
Yeah, you're probably closer to 6 weeks to really, you know, to do justice to the people that, you know, they're family and friends too, and you don't want to hang them up the last minute.
We're in a little different spot here because everybody's unemployed. So everybody's there. We're not having to worry about them coming from somewhere else because there's going to be nothing before us. The rodeo before us was canceled. That was Sisters, Oregon, the week before. So, we're going to hang on as long as we can, but we're probably no more than 30 days. I think if we haven't been able to make a decision by we originally said May 1st, but I think we can hold off a little bit longer than that, just depending if things are going in the right direction. But if they're not going to go in the right direction, I think we're going to know by the first week in May. If we're 30 days out and they give us a green light that the 1st of June they're lifting all restrictions, which is very possible. You think about how much time and where we're at. They shut Houston down what day, Steve? Do you remember what the day was?
It was the day of the 9th performance of the rodeo.
It was around the
that
13th of March, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Well, guys, we're at the 17th of April. That's 1 month ago.
Yeah.
And if we have hit the peak, we went from 0 to where we're at today in 1 month. Can we go back to 0 in 1 month? If the curve is going to go back the other way, and with everything that we've done to prevent it, and with cautions moving forward, our state, Nevada, has said that we're not going to open the state up and just go green. It's gonna be we're going to go from red to orange to yellow to green. It's going to be a 3-step process, and I think President Trump kind of said the same thing. Your question a minute ago about the community. Have we reached out? They don't know. So no, I have not. We have not reached out. But we have not received any knowledge back of, you guys, you can't go, you can go, because nobody knows at this point. So like I said, we're just going to monitor and keep continuing to hope, and then we'll see what happens.
Matt, a question for you as a competitor. If Reno goes and everything falls into place, what's the cowboy world look like? Are those guys going to be able to afford to travel and compete, or are they done for the season, or what do you see going on there?
I think from what I see, I think everybody's itching to go and do something so bad right now.
Job with the Cowboy Channel and RFD and Rural Radio. I'm the only rodeo announcer in the country working right now. I've talked to one award-winning rodeo announcer who's running a cattle ranch, one who's running an RV park, an award-winning rodeo clown who's driving a truck, an award-winning music director who's getting his OSHA certificate. It's a lot of us have jobs outside of rodeo. Some of us don't. And there are a bunch of announcers and clowns and bullfighters and specialty acts that are starting to get real nervous. George, I'm curious about how Nevada works. Is Reno real dependent on what decisions are made regarding Las Vegas, or can the two cities function differently? Do you need Vegas to open before you can open?
I think it's going to open. It's going to be all the state, I believe. My understanding of the way the state works, it's going to be the governor's going to open up the state. I mean, the restrictions might change a little for Reno for our end because we don't have the numbers, but I don't know that for sure. I'm not an expert in that field. The one thing I can tell you is our rodeo grounds is owned by the state of Nevada, and it's leased to the Washoe County, and we're a tenant in the month of June. So if the state doesn't open up the state, we don't have no place to have the rodeo. State's got to get open before we can make our decisions, because it's the facility right now has been closed. They've been using it for corona testing facility, a drive-through facility. They've got it all set up for that. So I think they're testing 4 days a week there now. So I think the restrictions will be different between the north and the south in Nevada. Yes, I do, once they get it open.
Steve, and this may be a little bit for you, and you may know because you're employers with the media group. Is Vegas having a conversation like we are?
Oh, I'm sure they are. I saw an interview with the mayor of Las Vegas yesterday, 2 days ago, and she's ready to bring that town back. But I think Vegas is having this discussion. I think, the whole city's having this discussion. There's so many different elements that go into it. If we're still being told to keep 6 feet away from each other in December, how do you have Cowboy Christmas? How do you have all those viewing parties at all those hotels? How do you have 17,000 a night at the Thomas and Mack? So, yeah, I'm sure that Vegas is having these discussions.
PBR's going to try and do some
Yeah,
TV
the
only.
PBR's got a plan to come back without crowd.
That'd be tough to do in our community because it is such a fan-driven event that I don't know.
But I'm sure Matt asked, is Vegas having these discussions? George, Don, I can't imagine they're, Jim, I'm sure I can't imagine they're not at this point. Las Vegas events has got to have a contingency or 2 or 3 or 4 at this point, don't they?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Las Vegas wasn't built without having a contingency for every scenario that came down the road. Yeah. I'm sure they're having these kind of conversations. And not just rodeo. I mean, they host a lot of other events too.
Oh, man.
September 11th, 2001, that horrible day in our history. I've had people who run casinos in Vegas tell me that they were real happy when December rolled around because we were the first event that showed up. When the NFR came to town, that was the first time they actually had crowds come back following September 11th. And so they're counting on us. I know that much. What would you guys tell other committees right now? George, what would you tell other committees?
Just hold on and if you got the sponsorship in place and everybody's, and you can it's just kind of try to wait it out. Think positive, continue to be ready and don't pull the plug too soon, because if you are community driven like we are here, this could be the best thing for our community to get us back going again. Just don't pull the plug too early on canceling your rodeo if you don't have to. Understand that people have financial issues that they can't overcome. Understand that, but remember what we do it for.
I tell other committees, communicate, and that's communicate with your local authorities, with your city government, your sponsors, your contract personnel, and if there was a way to do it through your contestants. But just communicate and let them know where you are or where you aren't, and agree with George. Commit to putting a thing on and do what you can to get ready. And if you can't, you can't, but plan on moving ahead.
Matt, how cool would that be if the contestants and the committees could all have more communication right now?
Well, if anything good came out of this, I'd say it's that. And, luckily I'd say I'm getting maybe a little old enough in my career that, you've kind of thought, hey, this, you first come out and you're a hot shot, right? You make the finals once or twice, and that's how these guys roll in, and the attitude is, oh, they can't have this without me type approach. But then you start realizing time goes on, you're fortunate to do it. Maybe you have an injury or two and you come back and you realize, wow, this can't go on forever. And then you start seeing kind of the other phases. Why do I do it? And then kind of gratitude towards those that are providing the experience or the rodeo and then the work that comes with that.
A lot of committees, I think there is a lack of communication between the committees and the contestants and even the personnel. I mean, communication is the key on the whole sport. We're all in the same canoe, just grab an oar.
Yep.
Boy, is that well said.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been afraid to call any of you guys and ask your opinion.
Matt, I'm curious about something. Y'all who are trying to make the NFR, you're liable to have a 10-week trailer race coming up here about the middle of June to July, August, September. Well, make it a 12-week trailer race. But there are a lot of rodeos stacking up on top of each other.
Oh yeah, yeah, and everybody's gonna just go crazy. And I know in the tie down roping we have 100 rodeos. I would say it's not impossible to get to them, but it's gonna be you're gonna be in high gear the rest of the year from hopefully Reno on.
Guys, I'm going to have to jump off of this. I got another call here in 5 minutes, so I'm going to have to wrap this up.
Oh, we're tired of looking at you anyway, George.
Thank you, George. Oh, and Don's
Thank you.
your name, by the way. So you're gonna have to blame Don.
I know. I know. He called and he called and warned me that you'd be calling me. So, hey, Matt, anytime though, you can save my phone number.
Probably.
All right, we'll see you, Georgie. Be
All
safe.
right.
George.
See you guys. All right.
I'll
Talk
see
to
you later.
Bye.
Bye.